Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Just a video here, and I'm going to be talking about this particular YouTuber, the ISO Goat. And the reason why I'm going to be talking about the ISO Goat, because of the amount of misinformation that he keeps spreading. So I don't know if you remember, but prior to November, he was one of the YouTubers out there spreading misinformation, saying that when ISO 20022 goes live, banks are going to be using XRP, and he was insinuating it. He was inferring that this is going to happen directly, indirectly, whether you do it explicitly or not. So if you're indirectly suggesting to people that when ISO 20022 goes live, XRP is going to be adopted and the price is going up, it's misinformation. I would have thought, yeah, he would have learned something from November, but it seems like he hasn't learned anything and he's simply back at it again. This is the stuff that I have a problem with in this space because I see it as taking advantage of people. So if you look at the ISO Goat, he started on YouTube this year, joined 8th of June 2022. And if you go to his videos, he basically started uploading on YouTube like 3 months ago. And his first video was ISO 20022 go live is coming. Are you prepared? I mean, he's done a lot of ISO 20022 content. And the irony is here, he calls himself the ISO GOAT, but he doesn't even understand ISO. It's clear that he doesn't really understand, he hasn't really researched ISO, but then he calls himself the ISO GOAT. If I go to his community tabs, he's back at it again, and I told you that this is probably going to happen, that after November, the next date these YouTubers are going to push is March 2023. Now, prior to November, the ISO Go, prior to November 21st, on his community tabs, he was uploading pictures after pictures of banks that were down, saying that they're upgrading their systems to ISO 20022, which is what they were doing. And he was implying that they are doing this, preparing for November the 21st, because XRP is going to be utilized. November the 21st happened. All these banks were live with ISO 20022, and look at the price of XRP. Was there any utility as a result of ISO 20022 going live? No. And I've done research on this already. Just go and watch my videos, thorough research, and you'd understand why nothing has happened. So the point is, I even messaged the ISO Goat publicly, told him you should take accountability for the misinformation you were spreading and how you were wrong. He didn't really care. He just said that what he's presenting is facts, and he blocked me. But the thing is, when you block someone on YouTube, it just means nobody can see your comments, but I can still see his content. So I'm not sure if he thought by blocking me, I would not have access to his misinformation, but I still do. So let's look at his misinformation. Now he's implying March. If they really push this price appreciation out until March, you see what he's doing? He's sowing the seed that XRP is going to pump in March. How does he know? He doesn't. But he's basing it upon what? Imagine how many more retail investors can get into ISO 20022. Now, you can't get into ISO 20022. ISO 20022 is a standard for messaging when it comes to payments. You cannot get into it. You cannot buy it. Obviously, I know what he means, but the statement in and of itself is ridiculous. You're supposed to be the ISO GOAT. How can you not understand what ISO 20022 is, and that you cannot buy ISO 20022 and you cannot get into ISO 20022? But of course, he's referring to cryptocurrencies that are hopefully going to be used one day alongside the messaging standard. So I know what he means, but despite that, the sentence is nonsensical, and he's implying that in March there's going to be price appreciation as a result of ISO 20022 going live. So if you scroll down some more, here he says, business day 20th of March 2023, the big moment will finally arrive. From then on, all messaging between and within the three platforms will be based exclusively on the ISO 20022 standard. So we know what's happening in March. What's happening in March is that the Target 2 system and SWIFT, the Target 2 system is the RTGS system for the Central Bank of Europe, the European Central Bank, and SWIFT as well is going live with ISO 20022. Now he's doing the same thing he did prior to November. He was setting people up with this notion that when ISO 20022 goes live, they are getting rich. He did that with November, it failed, and now he's doing that with March. Why is he doing this? I'm assuming it's for content, getting money off of YouTube. I have no idea, but why is he still pushing this notion out and he hasn't learnt anything from it? 4 hours ago posted, here is the reason for no price action in November 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Internationally, banks wasn't ready, so the systems was turned on but won't accept SWIFT foreign payments until March 2023. Now, this makes absolutely no sense because he was the one that was posting document after document, screenshot after screenshot of banks upgrading to ISO 20022. So how could you say internationally they weren't ready when you were posting international banks around the world prior to November the 21st on that weekend, all upgrading their systems to ISO 20022? So that is not the reason for no price appreciation. So he's basically saying that the reason why is because they weren't ready and it's going to happen in March 2023. And he's insinuating in March 2023 is when we're going to have price action for XRP. But again, what's going to happen in March 2023? The only thing that's going to happen in March 2023, guys, is the Target 2 system or the T2 system is going to go live with ISO 20022, and SWIFT is going to go live with the ability of processing ISO 20022. However, we already know that SWIFT said that they have an opt-in service that came out in August 2022 up until March 2023, where they would be able to, for banks that are already live with ISO 20022, they can opt into this service and use SWIFT's ISO 20022 translation system and so on. So to say there was no price appreciation in November because international banks weren't ready and the systems were turned on but didn't accept SWIFT foreign payments is complete nonsense, because one, those banks are ready because they are live, and two, they could use SWIFT's opt-in service right now because it's live as well. So that has nothing to do with why there was no price action. The reason why there's no price action is because ISO 20022 has nothing to do with, in and of itself, XRP utility or adoption. The proof is literally in the pudding. I mean, it's literally obvious that it has nothing to do with XRP's adoption directly, in and of itself, intrinsically, which is what these guys basically want you to believe. He wants you to believe that in March 2023, when SWIFT goes live with ISO 20022, there would be price appreciation, just like he wanted you to believe in November when ISO 20022 went live with all these banks around the world, that there will be price appreciation, and nothing happened. He keeps setting people up for failure. So let me just check out some of his comments, and it's sad here that he just misguides people like this. A comment, so there can be no excuses come March 2023 then for price not increasing. So Goat says zero excuse. Remember he said this. So in March 2023, when ISO 20022 goes live, if there's no price appreciation, is he going to take accountability just like he took accountability when nothing happened in November? Is he going to make excuses? He says here, zero excuses. And then again, people are nice find. He didn't find anything. It was well known that in March 2023, the Target 2 system was going to become live in SWIFT. Man, I don't even look at the news anymore. I just wait for the ISO Goat. And here he's posting a message saying upgrade an ISO 20022 messaging standard migration for the real-time gross settlement system. And what he's implying with this is that they're going to be using XRP. Remember, whenever you see him use the word ISO 20022 RTGS, he is saying, and he gives a date, he's saying on that date XRP is going to be used by that RTGS system, because that's what he believes. Bank of Zambia, shout out to Alan for this. So the Bank of Zambia is going to be upgrading to ISO 20022 messaging standard for real-time growth settlement system. When are they upgrading? They're going to be upgrading on December 23rd, 2022. Okay, that will commence in January 2023. So basically, the Bank of Zambia, according to him, will be using XRP in January 2023. Now, as I was saying, this YouTuber, he doesn't even know what ISO 20022 is. He doesn't understand what it does. He doesn't understand why ISO 20022 is live in November and why there's no XRP price appreciation. He thinks that basically they're live, but nothing can happen because they can't use it yet when Swift has an opt-in service and they can use the Swift messaging system if they want. And he thinks now that it's going to happen in March 2023, and that's when XRP is going to be adopted. Well, the question I have to people like him is this. We have from ir.com, and it says, what will be the impact of the global adoption of ISO 20022? Over 70 countries have already adopted ISO 20022 in their payment systems. And when I say payment systems, we mean their RTGS systems, including Switzerland, China, India, and Japan. And with over 200 payment types in scope, ISO 20022 will harmonize formats and so on. So we have over 70 countries, we have various payment systems, over 200 of them, and we have RTGS systems around the world from Switzerland, China, India, and Japan. And we have Colombia. We have countries around the world that are live with ISO 20022 in their RTGS system. And why are they not using XRP? Why are they not using XRP? They can use it if they want to. They're live with ISO 20022 in their RTGS system. Do you understand what I'm saying? So all these posts that he's putting out there as if to say, oh, now it's going to happen in March. He's fooling you. He doesn't even understand why these countries are live and they're not using XRP. He doesn't even understand what they're actually doing, how they're still doing cross-border payments. He is going to be pumping out misinformation up until March, up until the days before March, just like he did with November. It's a pattern. And he's going to be telling people, adding a little disclaimer in the beginning for 10 seconds, but basically making people believe that in March 2023, they're going to get rich off of XRP and that it's going to moon, it's going to skyrocket, there's going to be price appreciation, giving people false hopium. And if it doesn't happen, many people are going to be disappointed, and some people may even lose hope in their investment because they listen to YouTubers like him. My advice is be aware of crypto YouTubers who don't know what they're talking about, who are spreading misinformation, and just be wary of them because he doesn't care. I have seen YouTubers come out and correct themselves as to what ISO 20022 is. They are the genuine YouTubers you should be listening to, not these people that continuously spread misinformation at your expense. Thank you for watching.